Spending your money on a turntable without understanding what separates a belt drive from a direct drive is like buying a car without knowing if it's manual or automatic. You'll make it work, but you won't love driving it. Audio-Technica has one of the broadest turntable lineups in history, everything from entry level all the way up to reference grade. We carry 3 of them here at Moon Audio, and we chose these 3 for a reason. Each one was engineered around a completely different approach to playing records. And rather than picking based on price alone, we'll walk you through what matters, how it fits into your system in a way that complements your listening style. Why pick the wrong one and miss out on what you need most when you can invest in the perfect piece that'll bring you closer to your music? So here's what we're working with. The AT LP7X is a fully manual belt drive turntable. Then you have the AT LP8X, which is a semi-automatic direct drive turntable. And lastly, the AT LP-A2, a fully manual belt drive reference grade turntable. 3 turntables with 3 different designs for 3 different listeners. But before we get into each one, I want to give a quick rundown on each type. If you already know the difference between a belt drive and a direct drive, then just consider this a refresher. A belt drive turntable uses a rubber belt to connect the motor to the platter, which isolates motor vibration and it gives you a quieter playback. That's why it's often preferred by most audiophiles. A direct drive turntable mounts the motor directly underneath the platter, giving you stronger speed stability, but motor vibrations can transfer up to that stylus. Now, when you see manual versus semi-automatic and automatic on the turntable, here's what that means. Fully manual means that you're going to handle all of the operations. When it's semi-automatic, that means that some things like tone arm lift are controlled by internal mechanics, and when it's a fully automatic, internal mechanics handle all of it. So now let's get into it. So let's start with the AT LP7X. This is going to be the entry-level model of all 3 turntables today. This is Audio-Technica's fully manual belt drive turntable, and it's honestly one of the best values for performance. It's got a solid construction with a dense MDF plinth paired with a 20mm acrylic platter, which effectively minimizes resonance and vibrations. The platter is driven by an optical sensor monitored motor that keeps your speed locked in at 33 1/3 or 45 RPM. And it sports an external power supply, which keeps AC to DC electrical interference out of the equation with the turntable. These are the details that you don't always see at an accessible price point like this. We've got the J-shaped tone arm, which is actually inspired by classic Audio-Technica models from the 60s and 70s, and it's got a dual-axis gimbal and precision ball bearings for accurate tracking. It ships with the AT VM95E dual moving magnet cartridge, which sounds phenomenal right out of the box. But here's where the LP7X really shines. The unit comes with a 16-gram sub-counterweight so that you can accommodate various cartridges and head shells weighing up to 23.5 grams combined. And when you're ready to start swapping cartridges, it supports both moving magnet and moving coil cartridges thanks to a special selector switch right here on the back. The true value of the LP7X, though, is the fact that it has a built-in switchable phono preamplifier. That means that you can run it directly to your active speakers, or you can bypass the internal preamp and use your own if you've already got one. That flexibility alone is what makes the LP7X the turntable that you grow with, not that you grow out of. So if you're stepping up from an entry-level turntable and you want something that not only sounds incredible, but gives you room to upgrade your cartridge, that stylus, and preamp down the line, then the LP7X is your turntable. Now, if you want a deeper look at the LP7X, everything from the construction and cartridge compatibility to how it actually sounds, we've got a full written review on our website. I've got it linked in the description below, so if you're interested in this bad boy, check it out. Next up is the AT LP8X. This is Audio-Technica's semi-automatic direct drive turntable. This is the only direct drive model in this lineup that we carry, and it brings some features that the other 2 don't have. The biggest difference here is obviously the drive system. Where the LP7X and LP-A2 use a belt, the LP-8X puts the motor directly underneath that platter. The direct drive connection gives you excellent speed stability and pitch accuracy, and because this is a semi-automatic turntable, when the needle reaches the end of a record side, the tone arm automatically lifts and that motor stops. The LP8X also plays 3 speeds. You've got 33 1/3, 45, and 78 RPM. That 78 RPM capability is a big deal if you have vintage shellac records. Keep in mind though that you will have to swap a dedicated 78 RPM stylus or an SP cartridge to play those properly. The stock elliptical stylus isn't necessarily designed for 78 grooves. And speaking of that stock cartridge setup, the LP8X comes with the same AT-VM95E cartridge that you get on the LP7X. And also, just like the LP7X, the stylus is interchangeable with any other stylus in the VM95 line. The platter is a 25mm rubber-damped die-cast aluminum design with a 2.5mm rubber mat, which is a different approach from the LP7X's acrylic platter. The whole thing sits in an MDF box plinth with height-adjustable feet. But there's one thing to note here. The LP8X doesn't have a built-in phono preamplifier, so you will need an external phono stage. That's not necessarily a downside, but it makes this turntable more suitable for users who already own a phono stage preamp, or you plan to invest in a dedicated one. So if you're a collector with that deep record library, especially if you own those 78s, and you want the speed stability of direct drive with that semi-automatic operation, then the LP8X was built for you. And then there's the AT-LPA2, which is Audio-Technica's fully manual belt drive turntable. This is arguably their reference grade turntable, and everything about it is designed around one goal: getting out of the way of the music. The first thing that you will notice is obviously the chassis. The entire body and platter are built from high-density, transparent acrylic. It might seem unconventional for a turntable, but there's a science behind it. Acrylic has a resonant frequency that's similar to vinyl itself, so it reduces the kind of reverberations that can interfere with sound clarity. And the mass of that platter helps it spin at a constant speed, so you're getting stability and vibration control in one material. Audio-Technica really pulled out all the stops with the LPA2, placing the controls and power supply in a completely separate unit. That means there's no electrical interference reaching your audio components. As for what records it spins, it uses an optical sensor to maintain an accurate speed at 33 1/3 or 45 RPM, so no 78 RPM here. The tone arm is a lightweight carbon fiber design that tracks smoothly and precisely, and it comes with 2 counterweight options so that you can swap out a variety of cartridges. And the cartridge it ships with is a step above what you get on the LP7X and LP8X. It comes with the AT-OC9XEN moving coil cartridge with a nude elliptical stylus, and it's a high performer just like the turntable. Because of its reference status, there's no built-in phono preamp, so you've got to have some sort of phono stage already established in your system if you're considering this turntable. But if you're investing at this level, chances are that you already have one or you're ready to get one. So if you're that discerning audiophile who's building their reference grade phono system and you want the purest, most uncolored sound your vinyl can deliver, the LPA2 is the turntable that belongs at the center of your system. So to put it all side by side, the AT-LP7X is a fully manual belt drive turntable with a built-in phono preamp and the widest cartridge upgrade path of all 3. It's the one that will give you the most flexibility to grow your system over time. The AT-LP8X is a semi-automatic direct drive turntable with 3-speed playback, including 78 RPM. It's the only turntable in this lineup with a direct drive and an auto lift tone arm. And lastly, the AT-LPA2 is a fully manual belt drive reference turntable with an all acrylic chassis, a separated power supply, a carbon fiber tone arm, and a moving coil cartridge right out of the box. It's built for the listener who wants nothing between them and their music. If you don't have a phono preamp, pick the LP7X. If you've got vinyls requiring 78 RPM, pick the LP8X. And if you're chasing reference grade performance, then pick the LPA2. All 3 of these turntables share Audio-Technica's commitment to precision engineering. The difference here really comes down to how you listen, what you collect, and where you're at in your hi-fi journey. And while we're on the subject of system upgrades, the turntable is only half of the equation. The cartridge is what actually reads your records, and Audio-Technica has been making phono cartridges longer than they've actually been making turntables. We carry 2 series from their current lineup, the VMX series of moving magnet cartridges and the OC9X series of moving coil cartridges. From the VMX line, we carry 3 models: the AT-VM745XML, the AT-VM750XSH, and the flagship AT-VM760XSL. A lot of letters there. Each of these will come with a different stylus and a different sonic flavor. The 745XML is detailed and energetic. The 750XSH is smooth and balanced. And that 760XSL is ultra precise and reference level. These are a natural pairing with both the LP7X and LP8X turntable. From the OC9X series, we carry the AT-OC9XML and the AT-OC9XSL. These are built for audiophile grade systems and they pair beautifully with the LP-A2, though they'll perform well with any of these turntables with the right phono stage. I actually upgraded the stock cartridge during my review of the 7X and switched it out with the 9XSL, and the performance was insane. So if you're gonna upgrade your cartridge and you can do moving coil, you should definitely consider one of these. So if you're about to buy your turntable or you've already got one and you're serious about getting the most out of your records, the cartridge upgrade is where you'll hear the biggest difference. These three turntables aren't just steps up a price ladder, each one was built around a different kind of listener. The LP7X gives you audiophile performance with room to grow. The LP8X adds direct drive precision and 78 RPM playback for collectors, and that LPA2, well, that's a reference grade instrument for a listener who's done compromising. Audio-Technica started as a cartridge company over 60 years ago, and that heritage is baked into every turntable they make. When the same company that engineers the cartridge also engineers the turntable around it, you get a level of synergy that's hard to find anywhere else at these price points. Now, if you want to take your vinyl setup even further, you need to watch this next video. Moon Audio's CEO and founder Drew Baird sat down with audiophile J.R. Boyclair from Wham Engineering, and J.R. breaks down how precision turntable setup is what actually unlocks the clarity, bass, and realism that's hiding in your records. Trust me, it'll change the way you think about your turntable, so check that out now, and we'll see you right here next time.